I know he's not the most liked, but I like Rook. I think out of these four Jedi Masters, he gets the most amount of personality, which, and also the work of Ed Asner, his voice actor, certainly gives him more personality than these four, than the other three. Sorry. It's never really explained. Bastil is still a Padawan. She's not even a Jedi Knight, so she's still under the tutelage of somebody. Presumably, that's how Padawans work. So we're still under the tutelage of Master Shar here, even though he's given us a quest and told us to fuck off. I this is completely headcanon, but I like to think that Rogue is actually Bastila's master, which would explain her rigid adherence to the Jedi Code.
I must congratulate you on your actions. You have saved Juhani and brought her back into the Order, and have given us all great hope for your future success. May the Force be with you as you continue your training.
Nothing else to say? What about you, Master Shar? I'm gonna miss you.
May the Force be with you in your quest.
Oh. Master Vandar?
I have heard that the Sandrals and Matalis have agreed to cooperation in the construction of a new estate to house their children. Apparently, a son of one family and the daughter of the other are getting married. I also hear that we have you to thank for this happy occurrence. I am glad that you are using the authority our order wields to achieve some measure of good.
In more ways than one. On the small scale and the large scale. And I want to say we've exhausted the interesting parts of Master Dorak's dialogue. Actually...
Greetings, young Padawan. Have you come seeking knowledge of the past? Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, or so they say. As chronicler of the Academy here on Dantooine, I find your quest for knowledge admirable, but I do not want to overwhelm you with the long history of the Jedi Order. You should ponder the history of Revan. It contains many lessons you may need if we hope to defeat Malak and the Sith.
A little on the nose there, Master, if you don't mind me saying. Now this is interesting. I actually love this dialogue here. Where are the Academy's archives?
This facility is a training academy. The archives here are restricted to those who have attained the rank of Master. We must protect overeager Padawans from being exposed to dangerous knowledge. The pursuit of knowledge is a noble goal, but there are some things that require the wisdom of a master to truly understand. You should ponder the history of Revan. It contains many lessons you may need if we hope to defeat Malak and the Sith.
Now that's interesting. They're purposefully keeping information from you locked away and saying, oh, only a master would understand certain things about the Jedi, so look away. You don't have the security clearance. Just believe what we're telling you. Again, go away. Which I will be. I'll be going now.
May the Force be with you.
We have to go to 4 planets to find 4 techno-magic MacGuffins. Manan, Tatooine, Korriban, and Kashyyyk. Back when... No, wait. Before I get into this rant, this guy's about to stop me and say something.
Ta kumjus tak miki grabel mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Dolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut.
Oh, really? What's that? How do you know that the council gave me a mission?
Runda di hodonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek.
It's a lot of assumptions.
Tong haitwam chichi jumplumpa. Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonkwaleo gandona chuchut.
Yeah, I can't tell you anyway.
Kachikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona.
What could be more dangerous than the Sith?
다 공주스 딱 미끼 그랍을 먹고 같이 주이다 보던가 돌바방 원래요 간다 나르고 주춧 먹으셔 본가 몰라와나 찍네 바물레스 론다 디호던가 군 헝가비 원아 군 베스 칭 발라물레 동킹
Terran attack.
독님 셔투
What makes this creature so dangerous? This should be these creatures.
카치군 이다하던가 이킹군오 바물레라치군 슬리모포도 나룬디호던가 군가베 무주샥 바카 룬디호던가 군헝가비 오늘 군베스 칭 발라물레 통킹바 누노다
Sounds like they're extinct.
다 공주스 딱 미끼 그랍을 먹고 같이 주이다 보던가 돌바방 원래요 간다 나르고 주춧 먹으셔 본가 몰라와나 찍네 바물레 슬리모 포다다다 난가 통하이트웜 쥐지 좀 룸바 니타 포에 티키토 돌바다 본과래요 간도나 주춧 같이 주이다 돈동가
Thanks for the warning. I'll be careful. I don't need any more exposition.
카치군 이다하던가 이킹군오 바물레라치군
Yeah, great hunt.
스모포도나
Yeah. 40 years ago, some Jedi went to hunt these beasts down. They all died. The end. Now, there's a couple of vendors here. They don't sell anything I want. They only have droid parts and shields. And they have a little bit of exposition about Circa Corporation. We'll learn about Circa as we go along. We don't need to talk to them about that. Who we do need to talk to are these two. Garth,
Yes, what's on your mind?
I just want to talk with you.
Oh, you want to argue some more, is that it?
Yeah, I'm always up for a good fight.
So I've seen. If I were Malik, I'd be a bit nervous to have you on my tail. I just don't trust easily. And for good reasons, which are my own.
But we have to work together, Garth. So it has to do plenty with me.
Damn it. I suppose I won't get any rest until I talk, will I? You want to know why I don't trust anyone? Fine. Here goes. 5 years ago, the Jedi had just finished the war with the Mandalorians. Revan and Malik were heroes. I was damn proud to have served in their fleet. It was completely unexpected when they turned on us, invading the Republic while we were still weak. Nobody knew what to think, least of all me. Our heroes had become brutal, conquering Sith. And we were all but helpless before them. I mean, think about it. If you can't even trust the best of the Jedi, who can you trust?
They turn to the dark side, obviously. Why is it so personal?
Of course the Jedi turned to the dark side. There were others, however, who weren't Jedi. Good men, trusted men, who joined them. Malik and Revan and the Sith deserve to die for what they've done, but the ones who fled the Republic and joined them are even worse. The dark side has nothing to do with why they joined with the Sith. They deserve no mercy.
You say that with such hatred.
I know, and I should apologize to you. I've become so accustomed to expecting the worst in others, and you've done nothing to deserve that. It's just... oh, never mind. Let's just continue with what we were doing. I'd rather not talk about it.
Now, part of what makes Garth interesting is, sure, we have Bastila right here, and her story is directly joined to our story in the grand scheme of things of Jedi, magic, the epic, never-ending tale between Sith and Jedi and the fight for good and evil. Garth brings that story down to the more human, for lack of a better term, element. What does this epic scale look for the regular soldiers fighting in the trenches? So while Bastila here will talk to us about the dangers of the dark side and the influences, Garth will say, yeah, guess what? All those schmucks that picked up blaster rifles and started shooting at us, those guys are also assholes, and their stories are just as evil as you magic-wielding jerks that just continue to tear the galaxy apart. And let's move a little bit over here. That guy just kept bumping into us. Bastila, you have anything else to say?
How can I help?
I'm trying to trigger your personal quest before we fly out of here. You have something you want to ask me?
I do. How did you know?
Well, you keep staring at me. See anything you like?
You are easily the vainest, most arrogant man I have ever met. Besides, I know you can't be serious, since I was purposefully not staring in your direction. I am a Jedi, remember? I have far too much mental discipline to reveal what goes on inside my mind with such obvious physical clues. My thoughts remain hidden, including whatever my feelings are for you. I mean, whatever I think about you.
You're so cute when you're embarrassed.
That is you. Why must you be so impossibly infuriating? You know very well what I am really talking about. I am referring to the bond between us, the one the Jedi Council spoke of. Our connection allows us glimpses into each other's mind. We can feel some of what the other feels, and what I feel within you troubles me. A Padawan must receive considerable training. They must learn to control their emotions and darker impulses. Often it takes years before using the Force can be considered safe. The fact that you are so strong in the Force and have had such relatively little training could have terrible consequences. For you, and for everyone around you.
I don't think mastering my emotions is necessary. I mean, I just do what I think is right.
No, self-control is a maxim for all Jedi. It's what gives us the strength to resist the dark side. All who have fallen from our order have shown a flagrant disregard for such control. Thankfully, you've exhibited a degree of compassion and self-control up to this point. I sincerely hope you can maintain these traits in the future. We must all resist the influence of the dark side. It's everything we are fighting against. This is doubly important for you, with your natural affinity for the Force.
I guess I'll try.
That's good to hear. Without the proper training, however, I'm afraid you will find the path difficult even with the best of intentions. There is great danger ahead for both of us. Our destinies are intertwined. Everything one of us does will have consequences for the other. Any reckless behavior on your part is likely to affect me as well.
I'm being genuine here, Bastila, but I won't do anything to hurt you.
I believe you truly mean what you say, for now. But sometimes it is not so easy to keep such promises. Your power could be a gift or a curse. When you need guidance or advice or support, I will do my best to help you stay on the path of the light.
I would appreciate any help you could offer.
I only hope I have the wisdom to help you through the dark times. But for now, we should return to our mission.
If you see me wanting to kill a puppy, stop me. The urge. Now, I think I should be able to trigger Mission's quest if I talk to her one more time.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Terrace. I still can't believe it's gone. I mean, I grew up there and now it's just gone.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
I don't really think there's anything you can say. I just have to find some way to deal with it, I guess. It'll take some time. Look, I'm not saying I can't go on or anything like that. It's a shock, you know? I mean, I knew the Sith were evil and all, but the reality of it kind of slaps you in the face. But I suppose that's why we need to stop Malik, right? The more time I spend dwelling on Terrace, the more chance some other planet will get wiped out. I guess that's what it comes down to. So don't worry about me. I'll be okay. And if you need my help against Malik or the Sith, I'll be there for you. Hey there. What can I do for you?
I want to talk to you about your brother.
I'm sorry for the way I acted before. It's just that when it comes to Lena, I tend to get a little worked up.
Why do you hate her so much?
My brother and me had a good thing going. Sure, Griff had his run-ins with the law on Terrace, but we got by okay. Until Lena came and ruined everything. She was a dancer at the cantina where my brother used to go play Pazik. Griff could be a real smooth talker, and it wasn't long before the two of them were dating. But Lena was used to dating rich Teresian nobles, guys with mountains of credits. Griff could never give her the lifestyle she was used to, no matter how hard he worked.
You mean no matter how much he's... Did Lena dump him?
I thought Lena would brush Griff off when she saw how poor he was, but for some reason, she stuck around. I guess she saw the potential for a big payday down the road.
Maybe she actually liked Griff?
I saw Lena for what she really was, a busty, credit-grubbing cantina rat. She used Griff and took away the only family I had. After they'd been together for a few months, Griff told me he was leaving Terrace. He and Lena were going to try and make their fortune off-world. He promised as soon as he made enough credits he'd come back and get me, and we'd all live like royalty. That was 2 years ago. I haven't seen him since. I don't even know where he went.
You know, communication in this universe is pretty easy, so there's no excuse for not at least giving you a call. How is this Lena's fault?
Oh, I know what happened. As soon as she got him off Taurus, Lena sunk her claws into Griff butt good. She twisted him around her little finger and made him forget all about me. I know I'll probably never see Griff again. But part of the reason I came with you was the hope that I could find out what happened to my brother. Don't worry. I won't let the search for Griff get in the way of what we're doing. Let's just get back to the task at hand. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Nothing, never mind.
Okay, have it your way.
What are the odds that in this giant universe, with billions and billions of people just bumping into each other, that my little quest to go into 4 planets and find 4 MacGuffins, we're gonna find your brother? I mean, come on. Bastila. Sorry, no, not Bastila. Mission. Be realistic here.
Mission, is that you? It's me, Lena, remember? I was dating your brother back on Terrace.
Oh wow,
Lena.
we were just talking about you.
What are you doing here? Where's Griff?
I'm just passing through. Griff and I broke up a few months after we left Terrace together. Probably for the best. Your brother can be charming, Mission, but he's bad news.
Don't you start trashing my brother, you cantina rat. Take that back or I'll smack you so hard your head tails will pop off.
Mission, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way?
Mission gets a little worked up when it comes to her brother.
Yeah, I know how she feels. Griff can be pretty frustrating. I guess that's why Mission didn't want to come with us when we left Terrace.
You liar! Griff told me that you didn't want his little sister tagging along. That's why he had to leave me behind.
Is that what the hut spawn told you? I wanted you to come with us, Mission. I even offered to pay for your ticket. Why not? I paid for everything else while I was with that freeloader. But he told me you didn't want to leave Terrace. I said we shouldn't even go then. But he said we'd come back and get you after we struck it rich on Tatooine. Just another one of his lies.
No, you're the one who's lying. Griff wouldn't... He wouldn't try to leave me behind.
Why should we believe you, Lena?
Think about it. If Griff wasn't trying to ditch you, Mission, then why didn't he tell you where we were going? After we left Terrace, he told me looking after you was holding him back. Griff's always looking to blame other people for his own problems. That's why he abandoned you. He did the same thing to me, too. As soon as I ran out of money, he started blaming me for all of his problems. Like it's my fault his get-rich-quick schemes never work out.
Well, sounds like you're better off without him.
You damn well know it. He's nothing but a sleazy scam artist. If Mission knew it was good for her, she'd forget he ever existed.
But Griff is my brother. I just can't pretend he doesn't exist. If he was here to defend himself, Lena wouldn't be saying all this bad stuff about him.
Hey, if you want to talk to Griff, go ahead. Last I heard, he was going to make a fortune working the Zerka Corp mines on Tatooine. But as far as I'm concerned, he's out of my life forever.
Griff's better off without you anyway, you table-dancing, brother-stealing home wrecker.
I guess that's my cue to leave then. I didn't mean to upset you, Mission. But one day you'll see I'm right about your brother. I only hope it's not too late by then.
That's a bunch of insults you just threw at her. Get all that off your chest? Hey, Candace. You and I haven't talked. I'm sure you're a cool guy, right? We should give you a nickname. Candace. How about Candy? Hey, Candy.
Yeah, what do you want?
I was wondering if you had any interesting stories.
You want to hear tales of my exploits? Of the wars I've seen and fought, the enemies I've seen die by my hand? Sure, I'll humor you. My name's Canderous, of the Mandalorian clan Ordo. I've been fighting across the galaxy for 40 of your years. For my people, it is the honor and glory of battle that rules us. It's through combat that we prove our worth, gain renown, and make our fortunes.
Is that why you work as a mercenary?
Times have changed now. The Mandalore clans have been scattered across the Outer Rim. The Republic is in decline, and the Sith Empire rises to take its place. The clans as they were aren't a threat, but the galaxy still fears us. People think we war out of spite or bloodlust. They don't understand, and fear that. We only wanted the challenge of the battle, and glory from it, win or lose. And we lost. But now I have no real challenges. Crushing Davik's enemies and the pathetic gangs in the lower city of Taris could not be considered the most glorious of tasks. When I think of the battles I've fought, the thousands I've killed, the worlds I've burned, I weep for my past. We will never again speak of this. We've got work to do, so let's get to it.
No, I have a feeling that we'll talk about it. God, getting his personal mission is a chore. So many stories. Juhani!
I feel I must apologize for the way I acted towards you before, in the Grove. It was wrong of me.
You thought the dark side had consumed you. It was nothing.
I am sorry for attacking you. I am sorry for thinking you would only try to kill me. I hope that by helping you in your task, I may redeem myself in your eyes, and in my own.
Don't worry, Juhani. I forgive you.
Thank you. It is most reassuring to know that you can forgive me, even though I tried to take your life. I can only hope that, in our time journeying together, I will succeed.
You almost beat me.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
How do you come to be a Jedi?
How I came to be a Jedi? I am sure you would not find it very interesting. Are you sure you would like to hear?
Yes, please continue.
Well, it goes back a number of years. Back on my homeworld, we did not see Jedi very often, especially where I lived.
Where did you live?
The hind end of space. A pit of a world, to be sure, where Jedi rarely tread. But we had heard of them. Well, everyone had, so that is not to be unexpected. Champions of truth, defenders of justice, heroes of the Republic. It was very easy for a child to be enthralled by their image, their mystique. Maybe I was one of those children.
Did you meet a Jedi?
Yes. Yes, I did. When I saw a Jedi for the first time, they lived up to everything my imagination had created them to be. I was awed, and maybe a little enamored.
Enamored?
They were quite striking, especially the tales of their leader. From that moment on, I knew that I would have to try to become a Jedi. To lift myself out of the rut I had been living in for years, and to make a real difference, as the Jedi were. The foolish delusions of a child. But this child made it happen. As soon as I was able, I left my world and went in search of them. I found them and was accepted. I had been living my dream on Dantooine for several years before you came, although perhaps I was not entirely ready for it. Or not completely suited to the task. Otherwise, I would not have fallen. But thanks to you, I have been redeemed. Perhaps I may yet live to see that dream of mine come true. Come, there is much we should do. Let us not waste time talking. Action is what is needed.
I think she has something else to say.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
Why do you refer to me as by my rank? Actually, do you outrank me? Are you a Jedi Knight? Should I be bowing? I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Are you doing alright?
I thank you for your concern, but I am still a bit shaken.
Why? What is wrong?
I have been thinking about myself, about Quatra, and about my fall to the dark side. I keep thinking that it was my anger that drove me that far, that nearly damned me. I look inside myself now and I can still see it. I still feel it.
Perhaps you just need more time.
More time would do me good. Time to distance myself from that anger. I think that is why the council agreed to send me with you. They think, perhaps, that in your company, I will be able to free myself from it.
If I see you slip back, I will intervene.
I thank you for your concern and your acceptance. I will strive to prove that I am worthy of your company and trust.
I think that does it. Alright. We can explore the galaxy. Basila,
How can I help?
you wanted to speak to me?
Yes, I did. I wanted to speak to you about our mission and what lies ahead for us. It seems fate, or the Force, is driving us into a confrontation with the Dark Lord.
We haven't even
you
left
must prepare
Antoine.
yourself for when we face Malak. The confrontation will be difficult for you. I remember how hard it was when I first faced Revan.
Is it true you killed Darth Revan?
It's true that due to my battle meditation, I was with the Jedi strike team that boarded Revan's ship. We did not kill Revan, however.
But killing Revan is what you're famous for.
Our mission was to capture Revan if possible. It was Malak who turned on his own master, firing upon Revan's ship while we were still on board it. It was his desire to kill us and his master both. Thankfully, we narrowly escaped the vessel as it exploded.
But you would have eventually killed... Sorry. But you would have killed Revan eventually, right?
As I said, we were there to capture Revan alive. The Jedi do not believe in killing their prisoners. No one deserves execution, no matter what their crimes. Remember that Revan and Malak were once great Jedi, heroes in every sense of the word. They demonstrate the danger of the dark side to us all. I'm sorry, we really shouldn't speak of this anymore. The memory of my confrontation with Revan is painful. Let's return to the mission, please.
Now, that last line is interesting in the sense that she says that her confrontation with Revan was painful. And why is that? Is it because there was some sort of relationship between Basila and Revan prior to the Jedi Civil War? Or could it be because of her actions after the fact? I don't know. Fill in the blanks. I would like to think it's a little bit of both. That they actually knew each other before the war. At least somewhat. And that there's a little bit of guilt lingering in there.
Yes, what's on your mind?
I want to continue our discussion from before.
I thought I said I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, but I'm the protagonist here, so what I say goes. Don't you think you'd feel better off if you discussed it?
Not particularly. I guess it wouldn't hurt exactly either, though I don't know why you're so interested. When I think of all the men who betrayed us, the one that stands out above all of them is the one that I respected the most. Saul.
You say that name like I should know it. No, wait, no. That name sounds familiar.
With good reason. Admiral Saul Kareth is the commander of the entire Sith fleet. He's half the reason Malak has done so well in the war. Saul was my commanding officer back when the Mandalorian Wars first began. He taught me everything about being a soldier, and I looked up to him. Saul approached me before he left. He talked to me about how the Republic was on the losing side and about how I should start thinking of my survival. I know now that he was trying to recruit me into the Sith, but I couldn't have conceived of it back then. I argued with him and he got angry and he left. I never saw him again.
You didn't think he would betray the Republic?
Saul was my mentor. He led us to so many victories against the Mandalorians. Even when things looked to be at their worst, I couldn't conceive of it. He couldn't be serious. I was wrong, of course. He not only left us for the Sith, he gave them the codes to bypass our scanners. I remember waking up as the first of the Sith bombers snuck past our defenses and began destroying half of our docked ships. I knew right away what had happened. I mean, I could have stopped him. I could have stopped it all.
So you blame yourself for trusting your friend?
I blame Saul, not myself. I was stupid and I ignored the danger. He nearly destroyed us all. No, I fought Saul for years now, and if I ever catch up to him, he will regret what he's done. He will regret it.
So that's all of it then?
No, it's not. But I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's go.
Jeez. I think I've talked to everybody. T3 doesn't have anything to say, neither does Salbar. So let's go. My preferred order is Tatooine, Kashyyyk, Manan, then Korriban. So that's the order we're gonna go in. Now, before we go to Tatooine, I know it's the fan favorite planet. It's the one we all know from the movies. I'm kind of sick of Tatooine, to be honest with you. I wasn't sick of Tatooine when I originally played this game, but it gets overused far too often. I mean, just this one planet. How many movies did it show up? Showed up in all 3 prequels, showed up in episode 4, showed up in episode 6, and it showed up in episode 9. And a lookalike of Tatooine, Jakku, showed up in episode 7. I get it. Sand planet. Lots of imagery from there. Use other planets. The reuse of Tatooine really makes this supposed galaxy far, far away feel really small.
Lord Malak, the Star Forge is operating at 200% capacity, far beyond our expectations.
I am more interested in the young Jedi Bastila and her battle meditation. Have you learned how she escaped the destruction of Taris?
She was aided by Karth Onasi, a decorated war hero of the Republic and a legendary soldier. During the Mandalore Wars, he was honored many times for his bravery.
You know this man?
Yes, Lord Malak. He served under me when I still followed the Republic. You could say I was his mentor.
Interesting. How did you acquire this information, Admiral?
An eyewitness, Lord Malak. Calo Nord, a bounty hunter, was there when Bastila and Karth escaped the planet. Apparently, they left him for dead.
A Jedi and a war hero. It's a wonder you survived the encounter.
I am hard to kill, Lord Malak.
Calo has agreed to help us capture the young Bastila for a very hefty fee, of course. But I assure you he is well worth the price. His reputation as a bounty hunter is well earned.
Her companions are nothing to me, Calo. But I desire the young Jedi taken alive, if at all possible.
Lord Malak, forgive me. There is something else. May we have a private audience away from the ears of the common soldiers?
I trust you are not wasting my time, Admiral Kareth.
I promise you will be very interested in what Calo has to tell you about Bastila's other companions, Lord Malak.
Mystery.
Force has given us a vision, like the one we shared on Dantooine. Did you see it? Of course. You must have. The Force is strong with us both. Tatooine is known for little but blowing sand. I find it surprising that there would be a star map somewhere in its desolate wastes.
It looked like it was inside of some cave.
The star map would likely have to be within some kind of shelter to protect it against dust and sandstorms. I suspect there are many such caves and caverns hidden in the sands of the Dune Sea. The creatures of this world probably use them as their lairs. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Let's talk to you again.
How can I help?
I'd like to know more about you, Bastila.
Yes, I suppose I can understand your curiosity, given the bond that connects us. Very well. I'll tell you a bit about myself.
Tell me how you joined the Jedi, man.
I was found to be strong with the Force at a young age, as most Padawans are. As a girl, I was given to the Order to be trained. When I joined the Order, I left my family on Tal Ravan, as all Padawans do. My family is still there, the last that I heard. I've had little contact with them, as it is discouraged.
Discouraged? Why?
Relationships with family members are fraught with powerful emotions. Such extremes are to be avoided. Anger and hate are the worst, but even love can lead to folly.
You aren't allowed to love?
Emotional entanglements can be dangerous. They can impair rational thought. They can lead to outbursts of uncontrolled emotion. A Jedi must be above such things.
You don't sound very convinced.
It can be a hard lesson to learn. I was not on good terms with all of my family, but I do remember missing my father terribly for a long time.
Who weren't you on good terms with?
I was not on good terms with my mother. I was only a little girl when I left, but I was old enough to resent her and the way she treated my father. She pushed my father into treasure hunting. I spent all my young life on ships, traveling from one false lead to the next. She whittled away my father's entire fortune, and I hated her for it. I think she was relieved to give me to the Jedi, but my father was heartbroken.
You never tried to get in touch with your father again?
A child is too young to understand the sacrifices that must be made. It's better if they have no contact with their family once they're removed. Once I was older, I realized the wisdom of this policy. A Jedi must do what is needed, personal desires notwithstanding. Love can only obscure and confuse the matter.
Are you saying you no longer feel love?
Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others. I do not wish to discuss this anymore. I would rather return to our mission.
I think that's enough to trigger her personal quest. Carl?
Yes, what's on your mind?
You know, we just flew over to one planet. But you've been very quiet lately. You know that?
Have I been quiet? Suppose I have. I guess I just don't like being left out of the loop.
Left out of the loop? I don't understand.
Left out of the loop, you know, not being told anything, strung along. It's really starting to irritate me. For one thing, I want to know what the Jedi Council said to you. They pulled you in there and refused to tell me a thing about it. I'm rather curious to know what went on, and why they didn't keep you on Dantooine for training. Isn't that strange?
Why don't you ask Bastila? She's right there.
I'd be more than happy to, but she's as closed-mouthed as the rest of the Council. I'm hoping you'll be the one to enlighten me.
Why should anything the Jedi do seem strange to you?
I may not know much about the Jedi, but I do know they aren't famous for taking on old Padawans and sending them on dangerous assignments.
Who are you calling old? They said there's a bond between Bastila and myself.
A bond? What kind of bond? You mean to say that they told you that you were tied to Bastila in some way? I have trouble believing that. You're a neophyte Padawan who's been saddled with the responsibility of tracking down these star maps. Why? That's not normal. I am not trying to provoke you or to imply that you're somehow responsible for the Jedi Council, but give me a hand here. There has to be a reason.
Are you saying I'm not needed?
No, I didn't mean that you weren't wanted or that I want to go. It's just... Damn it. Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm not going to wait around until I'm betrayed again.
I am not going to betray you. I am not Saul.
Yeah, we'll just see about that, won't we? Look, I didn't mean it that way. I want to get to Saul, not... No, forget it. It just seems that all I can do is insult you, isn't it? Just forget I said anything. Let's just get on with what we were doing.
Actually, let's check.
How can I help? Then I suggest...
Yeah, nothing. That's not right. Not right. What do you mean? Of course you would know what's going on with the food. You big oaf.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Of course.
Nothing from you. I think the next time we can talk to you is when we level up. How about you, Ken?
Yeah, what do you want?
Really? Nothing.
Your choice.
Sad. It's like Bastila and Mission. Oh, she's
Welcome to
levels.
Anchorhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve, after some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this.
What do I get for my 100 credits?
The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Anchorhead. Once you've paid, we will offer trade services as well. We're not unreasonable, we just want to cover expenses.
Is there any way you could reconsider the fee?
I assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world.
The money I save, I'll spend in your stores. Trickle-down economics and all that.
That does make sense. I suppose I could let it go this time. We need the business. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure?
Give me some background on Tatooine.
There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well past its prime. Zerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look.
Tell me about Zerka Corporation's operations here.
I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it.
Come on now, friend. Let me in on the details.
It's common knowledge, so there's no harm in telling you. It's a tale of bad business. You see, Zerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempt at sabotage by a rival company.
Zerka Corporation set up shop on a barren planet?
Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business.
What do you mean when you say the ore is peculiar?
Zerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it.
What other forms of business are being looked at here?
Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy, barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however.
Let's go back to my other questions.
I will answer as best I can. What will you need while on Tatooine?
Actually, I really need to get going.
As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
Mission. Let's still just regular blaster pistol. Let's fix that. Let's give you that. Level you up. Dex. Snipe is good.
Yes?
Let's see if we can trigger Basilisk. No, I don't think so. Whatever. What shipment? What are you talking about? Excuse me? Did you say Giska? This is gross negligence. Of the highest order. Let's go back. See if we can trigger Basilisk quest. This is an efficient playthrough, after all. No? Okay. Maybe it's one more conversation. Oh, look at these ugly frogs. Get them out of here. Why would the game do this?
How can I help?
You wish to talk to me?
I do. I've been watching you, studying you closely to see what kind of progress you've made since your training at the hands of Master Zar.
Well, I think we both know the real reason you've been watching me.
You never give up, do you? I admit, I'm interested in you. I find you intriguing, compelling even, but it's not what you think. You have a great gift. You have an awesome command of the Force, and I tremble when I think of how you might misuse it.
I make you tremble. Do you get all tingly inside too?
What? No, of course not. Not like that anyway. In many ways, you are dangerous. You could be the savior of the galaxy. Or you could bring untold destruction upon us all.
I've done both.
Seen how you've resisted many temptations and continue to walk the path of the light side. Very commendable. But I'm afraid you might stray from this path. You need to see what the dark side represents in its entirety. For it is what we battle. Only the wisdom of a Jedi Master can truly explain this. But I will do my best to make you understand.
What are you trying to tell me?
The dark side is not simply giving in to anger, temptation, or to use the Force to destructive ends. These things only lead to the dark side. The dark side grows stronger and more insidious the closer you draw to it. It begs you to surrender to it, to release all its terrible power, and it becomes harder and harder to resist. And once you stop resisting, it's too late. It twists you up inside and turns you into a mockery of everything you once stood for.
You seem to know that temptation very well.
I am no less resistant to temptation than any other. I simply have the benefit of training that you do not. But even the training of the Jedi might not be enough to save us. We need only to look at the atrocities which have been committed by those under its sway to understand the terrible, corrupting evil of the dark side. Millions dead, and far more suffering. What sort of person would you have to become to perform such deeds gladly?
I couldn't see myself ever doing such things.
That is why the dark side is so insidious. If you are not careful, you do not even see each small step you take towards it until it's too late. It's so easy to think that we would never fall prey to such a horror, that we have unlimited control, vigilance, and foresight. If only that were true. The Sith have become powerful because there are many Jedi who've succumbed to the lure of the dark side and joined their cause. What greater weapon is there than to turn an enemy to your cause, to use their own knowledge against them? We are weakened while they are strengthened, so we must harden our hearts and do whatever is required to fight against the dark side, even when the battle becomes wearying.
do whatever is required, such as?
I don't know. The vision of our future is clouded by shadows cast from the dark side. But I sense something ominous lurking in those shadows. But words alone cannot save one from the dark side. Come, we should continue with the task at hand. When the time comes, I only hope we are all strong enough to do what we must.
Alright, fingers crossed. Now typically, you advance dialogue with your party members when you level up. That's the case with Juhani, Candaris, let's see who else. Yeah, Juhani and Candaris. Karth and Bastila, you can just come back to the Ebon Hawk. Wait, no, I don't want Karth. Alright, fingers crossed. And there we go.
Genchopa chawi tichok twis yun kun. Watuyama kama wona henak nek. Bugra shak kunti chiwa mchaw.
I'm Bastila, yes. I take it that you know my mother?
Why do you pronounce your name like that? That's wrong.
Kicha badwang.
It's Bastila.
Wanga kum kiba bu mulera. Kakin chak nawagawa bakon.
Is there something I can do for you, miss? As you can see, we're in quite a hurry.
Don't be rude, Bastila.
Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wana kumbes. Chi pala mulak. Tonki pa na nonek. Tu nik.
My mother's condition?
Ti umpa do punta krita. Ak ti kondo ona chaba chisa wanki. Ti toki grantu kon chip chan kun green kanchan tu pro. Bok wat.
I've not seen my mother since I joined the Order. Do you know what's happened? Did she say anything about my father?
Genchopa chawi tichok twis yun kun. Watuyama kama wona henak nek. Bugra shak kunti chiwa mchawa.
I see. Where did you meet her? Do you remember?
Shachika don mulaka watayuma ka wamaho.
I guess we should see your mother, Bastila.
Part of me would rather not see her at all. But if she is really sick, well, we shall see.
Oh, she disappeared. She became one with the Force.